Hey everyone, Smart Feasibility Calculator. The first thing that you need to know, let me zoom that in. Sorry, that's not the first thing you need to know, but I just wanted to zoom it in to, I don't know, maybe 175%. So it's a little bit more clear and bigger. So all blue cells are your input cells. So anywhere you go, you want to, if you want to add values to something, and you want to add, you want to change the percentage or whatever, you do not have to do anything into the black cells, because cells with black text or black numbers, that basically means they are formula cells, they are output cells, so you don't really need to do anything. Also, you'll see certain drop downs that are blue, which basically means they require you to select an option from the drop down. And that's pretty much it. It's very simple. It's designed to be very intuitive as well. So as you go down, you'll be able to handle all of them, but keep going through the video and you'll find a lot of things. This section here is all about different assumptions that I have assumed for the calculations. For example, how we treat GST. If it's not applicable to you, do not worry at all. All you do is select not applicable and you can forget about it. Different assumptions, different refinancing assumptions, and so on. On your right, we have important links. So if you find there is a bug or there's a glitch in the add-on, you just click on that form and you fill that form out with the details. You can explain what the issue was. You can first off select the add-on that you were using. You can select what went, you can tell us what went wrong. If you just follow these prompts, you'll be able to submit a bug report. If you wanted to request a feature in the next update, you can put in those details. I usually try and collate these features together, combine them, and then I usually put it out in the group so that people can then vote on it and get your final feedback before we start adding them in. So if you want to contact me as a support, if you click on this, it will just pop open your default email address and compose an email for you with our support email address in there. If you want check out the terms and conditions or what you signed up for, you can. We try and include that over here so that you can read it anytime you want as well. And the privacy policy is on our website, so this will take you back to our website. This section here is courses and resources. So if you haven't signed up for the free Quick Start Property Development course, by all means click on it, go and check it out. If you wanted to download few, I have about 18 or 19 different ebooks that you can download. If you wanted to check out the property development system, you can. This is our page for it, and then there is a feasibility suite called Lead Developer, and which is why you are actually watching this video. And that's pretty much it. So if you wanted to start here, you will put in your project name. I usually use an abbreviation there. So if whatever my address is 138 Albion Road, I would just put in 138 AR. Describe it. If it's an apartment development, you just put in the details there. And whatever you put in here, say for example, if I change the code to AR or whatever, that basically just updates everything, and then that carries off to the next page as well. So blue cells are your input cells. You come in here, you select square feet, meter square, currency symbol. So if you got a euro or pound symbol or any other currency symbol that you want to put in there, you can select that. Tax rate. So if you put NA, which means not applicable, if you come here, you'll see that column I and J are going to be totally empty. But if you were to select GST or VAT, you can put in a percentage of what that percentage of GST is going to be. And you'll see that these calculations will start appearing because you have selected GST. Another thing you need to know is that at every input, there are two methods of keying in that input. One is a fixed price or fixed cost method where you know exactly what that price is going to be. So if you say $1 per unit, you can allow $5,000 per unit. Or you can allow it as a percentage of construction cost. Now, what you cannot do is key in two different values. So it can either be $1 per unit or it can be a percentage of construction costs. So if you have an input in both the cells, this is going to get highlighted red. It'll show you an error. Nothing's gone wrong so far, but you'll see that no calculations will happen over here in this section. And the reason is that I wanted to give in two input options. That's pretty much it. And there was no way for me to, because there's no way for us to know or the application to know which is the one that you want to go with. So if you got two values in there, make sure the other one is 0. So if you put that as 0, you'll see that error warning will disappear. And that applies to almost every input cell for costs. So even if there is a miscellaneous allowance and you want to say, look, I want to allow $750 per unit, which basically means that if you are developing 4 townhouses or 10 townhouses or 5 townhouses or apartments or condominiums, does not matter. You are basically making a miscellaneous allowance for $750 per unit. Now you've got percentage in there of the total sales in this scenario, but I'll put that as 0 so that error disappears, and then it'll tell me that it's allowed $750 per unit. And for the entire project, that means for all the 4 units or 5 units or however many number of units that you have, it has made a miscellaneous allowance for in the entire project for $3,750. And you'll see up top here in the blue section, in the header section, it will say that it is using that percentage as a percentage of something. So it is using that to calculate as a percentage of GRV in this scenario, which GRV stands for gross realization value, which means total sales. And if you go in here in the abbreviation section, you'll be able to see all of that. But in the next video, I will explain all the assumptions, what they are, what they mean, so that you can make the best from this. You can make the best of this add-on and use this.